Jeff, we're back again. Hey, the I think the newness of 2025 has worn off, right? So we're kind of easing into 2025, and there's a lot going on. I know just working with my team and within my organization, there's always changes around this time of year and speculation. Furthermore, in our country and in our world, there's always a lot of things going on, and it's challenging sometimes to be able to to stay focused and disciplined and sane in ambiguous, uncertain, or trying times. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that today. How do you maintain focus and clarity when things are a bit chaotic?
Sure. Like anyone else, I try my best. Not perfect and definitely have same issues I'm sure anyone else does, but there's always things that I'm trying to do to make sure that I can try to stay ahead or try to reason with whatever whatever's going on in the world or around me in my personal life. It's been a tough start to my year for a number of reasons. Had a death in the family and some other things going on, and so I've had to actually be pretty intentional in thinking about this. And I would say there's probably like four different things that are top of mind for me. And they're in no particular order, but first and foremost, I have a hard time staying present. I'm always looking to try to get my head into different things and get distracted very easily. It's a flaw of mine that I'm pretty well aware of. So I've been starting to really make meditation a daily habit. And usually I try to do it in the morning. The ideal would be to do it first thing in the morning, but rarely am able to make that happen because of other things that need to happen around the house. But I try to get it done before the workday starts, certainly. And that's something that I think helps me to stay present. And even just the habit of it, I think is a good thing to start. Another thing too, in that realm is I've started listening to books, because again, I am very distractible. It's hard for me to sit down and read for long periods of time. But listening to books is great because when I go for a run or if I'm working out or if I'm in the car, I'm already going to be needing to pass time. And it's a way to kind of kill two birds with one stone. And I'm learning all sorts of different things. It can be a little bit of a distraction to learn about something new and to unplug from what you're doing and to plug into a completely new concept. So that's something that I think is really important. Exercise. I know that you every year are trying to break your record from the previous year in terms of like the days or the minutes you've exercised. I'm sure you're off to a good start this year. I try to. Oh, so okay. Well, I try to work out.
I'm pacing ahead, but
Yeah,
it's always up and down, especially the older I get. But anyway.
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, but I like, I try to stay active. I think like I try to work out 6 days a week, sometimes even seven, but certainly 6 days a week. I try to work out, and I try to mix it up, either running or hit classes or sometimes even CrossFit or strength stuff. So try to mix that up too. And then the last one is probably the most important. And that's just like spending, I've got a 14-month-old daughter at home, before and after work, and even sometimes during the day. Getting to spend time with her is just like a ton of fun. She's at the age now where she's like running around and being crazy and, starting to talk a little bit. So I think that that's something that, kind of gives you perspective, especially if, something happens and you're upset about it or whatever. And, you realize that what really matters is it that thing that bothered me today, or is this what matters? So I think that that's something that, has given me a lot of perspective and has helped me a lot. And so, selfishly, I would say having a daughter at home and a great wife and, being able to, cherish that is something that helps me stay grounded in difficult times. So those are like my big four. Love to hear about yours. I know maybe exercise is probably one of them, and maybe we have a couple overlap, like reading and
Yeah.
exercise. But yeah, I'd love to hear yours.
Yeah, Jeff, I love it. I mean, your list is phenomenal, and I think about some of these like, when I space out my day, I'm cognizant right now for a lot of people and for like myself and even for like my team and for others. There's a lot of things going on and there's a lot of noise, and I think trying to minimize some of that noise is pretty critical as well. Trying to avoid social media right now is really important for me because it becomes noise and whether it's just there's no need to inundate yourself with a lot of these things that are completely out of your control or that get cause or stir up emotion in you that distracts you from what really matters. I love how you talked about reading. Reading has been critical for me. Exercise has been critical for me. I get up early in the morning, and yeah, I'm like you. I try to get 6 to 7 workouts in a week. And changing it up is so important because sometimes malaise and boredom can set in. So it's good to get different, whether it's different scenery, doing a mix of inside, outside, weather permitting. Um, I was ecstatic when we had a warm day and I could go play basketball. And so just finding different ways to incorporate that.
What kind
Listening
of
to
style?
audiobooks.
What's your style in basketball? Are you 3-point shooter or are you like pounding the rim?
Yeah, I can hit from anywhere on the court. I'm too short to really dominate under the basket, but I can hit from anywhere on the court. I inherited
Okay,
that from my father, who's one of the greatest shooters I've ever seen in person. So
okay, good to
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I'm a
We'll have
two
to
guard.
play, we'll have to play one-on-one next time we link
I'm
up.
in. Let's
All right.
do it. Let's do it. Well, it'll be like that the Rocky 3 freeze frame ending. We'll do like a video with it and not tell anybody who wins, or maybe we will.
Yeah.
But I'm always listening to audiobooks. I've really loved doing that. I used to listen to a lot of music and I still do, but I've incorporated a lot of audiobooks and I've had some really meaningful books that I've focused on recently, like um, and as well, like I've replaced a lot of the senseless scrolling with reading a Kindle book. So I try to be reading at all times. Like even if I just have a few minutes, or I'm preparing a meal or whatever it is, I've got a book going, and it kind of sometimes it's a mix of fiction, could be nonfiction, could be self-help. But I'm really trying to focus this year on mastery. I realize, and I've mastered a lot when it comes to my career, but when it comes to the relationships that are most important to me with my wife, with my kids, even with myself, those are the things that I'm trying to get better at. Like Marcus Aurelius, meditations, really working on self with that. Simon Sinek, Start with Why. Also reading The Infinite Game, and it really is just helping me from a mindset perspective. There's a book called Secure Love, which is phenomenal for my relationship with my wife. It's by Julie Manano, and it's great because you can start to think about like, ensuring that you're always looking at your partner or your spouse as they're not the enemy. Even if stuff is hitting the fan and stressors are getting high with family and other things that are out of your control, making sure you're always meeting people where they need to be met in any given moment.
Yeah.
Those types of things are really important. And there's a book I'm reading called Raising Daughters Who Like Themselves. And so those types of things are vital for me as well as the workouts. And then lastly, when I really think about it, taking space. This is something I've not been very good at in the past, but sometimes I've got to break up my day. I had a day recently where I just felt like I was just getting pelted. I get up every day with the right intention. I can get to my work. I can get to my things that I need to do. I come up with my daily non-negotiable list in the morning. But some days, like, and I liken it almost to like a video game. Like my energy bar, it's like up here at the beginning of the day. But sometimes, like, it's by 9 o'clock. I mean, it's bottomed out. And so, what can I do at that moment? And so it could be stepping away. It could be, in that day recently where I just got pelted and had some things go absolutely haywire. I looked at my calendar and I was able to take some space, went to the gym, watched a show while I was jogging, did some weights, got some complete space, came back to it, and everything was good. I eased my way back. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Sometimes I put more pressure on myself than anything or anyone else does. And that's what ultimately makes things challenging. Sometimes you got to shrink it down. Think about yourself. First, I'm good. I'm okay. My family's okay, and kind of go back, shrink your bubble, and then go out from there because you're not ready to take on the whole world at that any given moment. So having your support system, focusing on like those baby steps, small wins throughout the day, those things can really help you. But at the end of it, it's just control what you can control. And I've had some challenging days recently, but have been able to find my strength in diving into getting space and diving into my support system with my wife and being with my kids.
Amazing. Yeah, love it. I think we have a lot of overlap in what we're doing. And I love the idea of kind of taking space for yourself, not putting too much pressure on yourself. I think for both of us probably comes from the same level of perspective we have from family, and faith, things like that, right? So I think that that's good stuff.
Nothing good or bad lasts. There's times when you're winning and everything's coming up roses and it feels great, but don't take those moments for granted. And on the same token, even when you feel like you're getting knocked down every single day, just give yourself some grace. Take it easy on yourself. You're gonna look up in a week or so and things are gonna be better. Just do the right things. I do a lot of studying of great coaches, and Phil Jackson used to say, after, championship seasons or wins or whatever it was, what does he do? Chop wood, carry water. What does he
Yep.
do after losses? Chop wood, carry water. It's the same focus. It's the Buddhist kind of Zen master principles. And the reality is you follow the same process and systems, whether you're winning or losing. And overall, if you execute, you keep the right people close, and you do the right things, by and large, you'll be successful. And that's what I got to tell myself every day.
Love it. Good stuff.
Beautiful. Well, good luck to everyone out there. Would love to hear your thoughts. How are you keeping sane in wild times? And we'll see you next time.